What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another FPL video on the channel. And in today's one, we are going to be looking at my Game Week 16 transfer plans as the FPL headquarters. The FPL gods have given us an early Christmas present of 5 free transfers. So you know what? I'll take it, and I can confirm that 2 of those 5 free transfers have already been used. Yes, that's right. As you guys can see on your screen right now, this is my current team as it stands for Game Week 16, and you can notice, right, that little boy, or should I say bum boy, the absolute fraud, Mateta, has been sold for Igor Thiago, and also I've sold Virgil van Dijk. He had to go, bruv. It's simple as that, and I did bring in Yuri and Timber. I'm gonna be honest, guys, because of these 5 free transfers, the price changes right now are so volatile, and they're just crazy, right? So a lot of price changes were happening. The players I had were going down, the players I wanted were going up. I had to move early, right? So I did bring in Yuri and Timber, and I did bring in Igor Thiago, and therefore this is currently how my team does look for Game Week 16. By the way, guys, if you could smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, that would be absolutely fantastic. I do appreciate all the support that you guys are showing me recently, man. Honestly, it does mean a lot, so thank you. But yeah, I would say right now, as it stands, the team does look good, but to be honest with you, I do plan on using potentially 2 more of my free transfers. We do have 5 to use, and to be fair, I have been saying, right, that I only want to use a maximum of 3 free transfers this week. But honestly, because of sort of my thoughts on Yakoba Minte, I'm really considering using an extra free transfer to take him out. But yeah, I'd say, listen, my team looks decent on paper as it stands so far. So we've got Raya in goal with Timber, double Arsenal defense against Wolves at home, very nice. Currently, we've got Munoz in the team, but that is going to change when I do make some more transfers. I think I want to bench Munoz for this week against Man City. We've also got Anderson against Burnley away, which is decent. Then in midfield, we've got Bruno Fernandes and Brian Mbeumo, who both have Bournemouth at home. We've got Foden and Haaland in attack against Palace away, Semenyo against United, which is not too bad, and then Minte against Liverpool, and Thiago against Leeds at home. So I think on paper, my team looks good. But listen, what I want to discuss right now, right, is why I bought an Igor Thiago. For me, taking out Mateta for Thiago was almost like a no-brainer. I'm not going to lie, right? Mateta has been really poor in recent weeks. He continues to miss just chance after chance after chance. And in some games, he doesn't necessarily have a high volume of chances, but he will get that one big opportunity from like 6 yards out where you expect him to score and he doesn't, right? Ultimately, what I'm trying to say is Mateta can't be trusted, right? The guy is an absolute fraud. I'm sorry, but it's just a joke now. I did think that, you know, with the amount of chances Mateta has been getting over the season, that eventually he would stop missing so much and, you know, the goals will come, but it's just not been the case. It really hasn't been the case. So I think Mateta, when you combine that with the fact that he's also getting subbed off early now, because it's very clear that Oliver Glasner is trying to manage the minutes of Jean-Philippe Mateta. So yeah, like he got 65 minutes against Fulham, 63 minutes against Burnley. He can't be trusted for minutes going into this Christmas period, this fixture congestion period. The fixtures coming up are decent, but as I said, I can't even really trust Mateta to score goals when he does get the good opportunities to score anyway. So yeah, for me, I'm not really paying attention to the fixtures too much, but yeah, I just don't like Mateta as a pick, ultimately, and I just think, yeah, he had to be sold. So I bought in Igor Thiago, and for me, look, Thiago, like I said, it was a no-brainer. It's more of a fixtures play, and the fact that I know he's pretty much a guaranteed starter with Dango going off to AFCON as well. I mean, I just don't think we're going to see a world where Thiago does get benched. I know he did get benched against Arsenal, but like I said, now that Dango's gone off to AFCON, I just don't see a world where even during this fixture congestion Christmas period where Thiago gets benched, right? So I think he's a guaranteed starter, which I like. He's a 90-minute man, which I like. He's on penalties, which is fantastic. We know how good Brighton are at winning penalties in games. So I think that's very nice. And the fixtures ultimately are fantastic, right? The entry point in Game Week 16 is very nice. It's Leeds at home, then it's Wolves away, then it's Bournemouth at home, Spurs at home, Everton away, Sunderland at home, Chelsea away, Nottingham Forest at home. So listen, you can see here, man, Thiago's a very good long-term hold, and he's someone that is actually playing well this season in terms of FPL. He's getting the goals, he's getting the goal contributions, which is the most important thing, right? Penalties or not, like, he's doing well. He is doing well. So listen, Thiago, for me, like I said, it's a no-brainer. The fixtures are there, the form is there, he's on penalties, guaranteed starter. I mean, he's got so many positives in my opinion. So yeah, I'm more than happy to own Thiago for the foreseeable future, which is why I bought him in. And then, like I said, we bought in Timber, and for me, it's a no-brainer. Getting in another Arsenal defender was an absolute must. Virgil van Dijk had to go, right? Liverpool can't be trusted. trusted. Enough is enough. I don't think he's worth that 6 million. That's the main thing for me, right? I feel like Van Dijk had to go because when I asked myself that simple question, is Virgil van Dijk worth the 6 million price tag? For me, it's no, right? At the end of the day, when you're an FPL asset costing 6 million, your bread and butter has to be clean sheets. That's what I expect from you. You can smile and twerk and shake your bum for defensive contributions, but that's only good if you're getting clean sheets when you're an asset costing 6 million, right? That's my personal opinion. So yeah, you might argue, oh, but he's decent for defensive contributions. To be honest with you guys, I don't care. Right, I don't care. When you're 6 million, your bread and butter has to be clean sheets. The defensive contributions you get has to come alongside the clean sheets. That's my personal opinion. Right, that is my personal opinion. So yeah, I just think Van Dijk had to go. I just don't think he's worth the money. I decided to bring in Timber. And now for me, Timber, as I said, was a no-brainer, right? I feel like I definitely needed a second Arsenal defender. Looking at the fixtures that they do have, starting off with Wolves at home, it's a very nice entry point. After that, it's Everton away, Brighton at home, Villa at home, Bournemouth away, Liverpool at home. I just think, look, ultimately, whether the short-term fixtures are amazing or not, the point stands, right? Arsenal are the best defence in the league. Fact, right? No one can deny that. Even with Gabriel injured, I think Saliba is nearing a return. So let's just say Saliba is fit for the next game and they've just got Gabriel out injured, right? Of course, Gabriel is a massive upgrade on Hincapié, no doubt about it. But still, like I said, the point stands. Arsenal are the best defence in the league. Fact. So I want double Arsenal defence long term, and we'll get onto it in a second. I'm even considering, right, tripling up on the Arsenal defence, guys. I really, really am. And it's going to go right down to the wire. I'm actively considering it. The only reason I may not go for it is because I might go for Declan Rice. Obviously, if I go triple Arsenal defence, it does mean that I can't get Declan Rice. So I am weighing up. Do I want Declan Rice or do I want a third Arsenal defender? But honestly, right now it's like 50-50. But yeah, I really am considering it, and there is a good, strong chance I do go for triple Arsenal defence. But yeah, like I said, guys, I just do think, right, just like sometimes I think, don't overthink things. Who's the best defence in the league? Who can you trust to get clean sheets? It's Arsenal. It's Arsenal. And the thing is, the defensive contributions are there as well for some of these players like Timber. Okay, cool. Whilst Saliba's injured, he's been playing at centre-back. But like I said, it is looking like Saliba is going to be close to returning and probably just start against Wolves. Let's say he doesn't and Timber's at centre-back. That's fine, right? He's got a decent chance for defensive contributions. Of course, like I said though, Timber is a long-term hold. So eventually when Saliba's back, he goes to right-back and, you know, he's a good attacking threat when he plays at right-back. So I just think Timber overall is a good pick, right? The clean sheet potential is really, really high. The DEFCON potential is okay. And the attacking threat potential is really, really good. So when he plays at right-back, right? So I think Timber's a really good pick to hold to have long term. So yeah, that is why I have gone with Timber as my replacement for Virgil van Dijk. So now what I want to discuss with you guys is some basically what I want to do with my other free transfers. So like I said, I've confirmed 2 of them. I've now got 3 free transfers left. Now, there's a lot of different things I can do, right? And I don't even know where to start. What I want to start with, since I did just touch on triple Arsenal defense, I want to start off with that, right? Because again, I'm asking myself this question multiple times a day. Do I really want triple Arsenal defense? And a part of me does. Now, if I do go for triple Arsenal defense, what I'll do with another free transfer I've got is I'll take out Senesi. Right, I'll take out Senesi and I'll go to someone like Hincapié, right? Because obviously Gabriel's injured. He probably won't be back till I'd say roughly around the new year, right? So Hincapié can be a placeholder for Gabriel, basically, right? So yeah, I would go from Senesi to Hincapié, and then yeah, that's a route I can go down in terms of getting triple Arsenal defense. It means I'd have Timber, Hincapié and Raya. And honestly, some of you guys might say that's crazy. How can you do such a thing? But honestly, I don't actually think it's that bad as it seems, right? At the end of the day, how I see it is, right, I'll give you my perspective on triple Arsenal defense. If I'm going to have 2 Arsenal defenders anyway, all it really is another Arsenal defender versus another defender from another team. Let's just say I can go for Hincapié, or I can go for who's another defender? Van Dijk, for example. Let's just say Van Dijk. It's basically Hincapié versus Van Dijk. If I think Hincapié will outscore Van Dijk, Why not go for Nketiah and just triple up on the Arsenal defence? You know, I don't actually think it's as bad as it seems because most people are comfortable going with 2 Arsenal defenders anyway, right? So I don't think 3 is that bad. So yeah, I'm more than happy to go with 3, honestly. And one thing I want to say as well, because I know some people might rebuttal with what I'm saying, and they might say that the Arsenal defence has actually fallen off, right? Without, you know, since Saliba and Gabriel have been injured. Now, I actually don't agree with that totally. Obviously, against Aston Villa, I'm not going to lie, right? Arsenal did kind of get battered and the scoreline did flatter them. But outside of that, they've actually really restricted their opponents to creating big goal scoring opportunities. They still have actually looked really solid defensively. So it's only the Aston Villa game where they looked quite shaky at the back. So for me, and listen, Aston Villa away is always a tricky game, especially this season in the form that they're in. That's going to be a tricky game for a top six team. You know, we saw Man City lose away to Aston Villa. So listen, it's no surprise that, you know, Aston Villa did manage to create quite a few chances against this Arsenal side. But when you look at the fixtures moving forward, like Wolves, Everton without Njai, Brighton, I watched Brighton against West Ham today. They absolutely stunk out the place, looked awful, right? These games, I do expect Arsenal to get clean sheets, especially because they're at home as well. So yeah, that's just my thinking. That's my rationale behind it. I'm more than happy to go triple Arsenal defense. So, but like I said, right, that does mean I wouldn't be able to get Declan Rice. And that's why it's not confirmed. Because I must admit, guys, I really do love Declan Rice. I think he's a top scoring midfielder in FPL right now. And he is just looking like a really good long-term hold. So he is definitely someone on my radar. He is definitely someone I do want, to be fair. I do want Declan Rice. So I've got to ask myself, is it worth picking a third Arsenal defender instead of going for Declan Rice? Now, I've got 2 paths. I do want to say I've got 2 paths. One route with triple Arsenal defense and one route with double Arsenal defense and Declan Rice. And I'm going to compare the 2 paths and we're going to see how they differ, right? Because I do want to show you guys how the 2 paths differ. But quickly, before we do talk about that, what I also want to talk about is Yankuba Minte, right? Because I think Yankuba Minte is also an issue. Now, I'm not going to lie. You guys know I just bought him in. But to be honest with you, I just don't like him as a pick. I never really was comfortable with bringing him in as a pick. I do deep down want to sell him. Now, assuming I go for a triple Arsenal defense, if I was to sell Yankuba Minte, the player I am looking at right now that is really intriguing me, enticing me, is Harry Wilson, right? 0.9% ownership he's got right now. But oh my word, is he tempting me. I'm not going to lie, guys, right? It would be a short-term punt. It would be a short-term punt. It would be pretty much for just 3 games. Burnley away, Nottingham Forest at home, and West Ham away. But honestly, I think it could be worth it. We've seen him just score, right, against Man City. Well, no, he got 2 assists against Man City, right? He scored against Crystal Palace. He scored against Spurs as well. He's actually in good form, right? He is in good form. And he's got quite a decent shot on him as well. The fixtures are there. Could this be the period where Harry Wilson does bang? I'm not too sure. But I think it could be the play. And I also think his minutes will be good because Fulham have a few players going to AFCON, right? Chukwueze, Bassi, even though Bassi doesn't really affect Wilson's minutes. It's Chukwueze and who else? Iwobi. That's it. Chukwueze and Iwobi going to AFCON does sort of boost the minutes of Harry Wilson. So I think for the next 3 games, a punt on Harry Wilson could be pretty decent. Honestly, I think it could be pretty good. So I am considering it, right? And yeah, taking out Minte for Wilson is not something confirmed, but like I said, something that's definitely on my mind and something that I do want to consider. And that would mean, by the way, using 4 of my 5 free transfers. And I'm going to be honest, chat, I kind of want to use just 3. I feel like using 4 is a bit too much. So, yeah, there's a chance I just keep Minte, unfortunately, but we're going to have to wait and see. But, yeah, there's loads of different paths I can go down, right? My head is kind of scrambled, and I'm sort of just relaying my thoughts to you guys. Hopefully, you guys understand everything, right? I'm hoping I'm, forming my points in an easy way to sort of comprehend and understand. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go for Wilson. Now, what I do want to say quickly, right, is if I go for Declan Rice instead, right, I sell Minte, I go for Declan Rice, that would mean that I actually do use 4 free transfers again, by the way. So let's just say we reset it, right? We've got Senesi, we've got Minte in the squad. So let's say I take out Minte for Declan Rice. That would mean I need another defender, right? I would need another defender. And most likely what I would do, I'm thinking taking out Senesi and bringing in, most likely, I think it would be Van den Berg, to be honest with you guys. I'll be honest. I think it would be Van den Berg because I don't really rate the Brentford clean sheet. clean sheet potential. I don't really rate the Brentford defence, right? And again, it's just another reason why I want double Arsenal defence. I know DEFCON is a thing here, but the Brentford defence doesn't convince me. They've only got 2 clean sheets in the entire season. Like 2 clean sheets in 15 games, chat. Like I know the fixtures are decent, but come on, 2 clean sheets in 15 games is diabolical. Right, I'm sorry, but it's just not good enough. So why am I really picking a defender? Yes, he's 4.5, but I mean, it's just not great. It's just not great. So I don't really know if I want Van den Berg, to be honest with you. Which is, again, another reason why I kind of do want triple Arsenal defense, because it means I don't have to pick a Brentford defender. You could say go for someone else, but in terms of fixtures, in terms of cheap defenders, and in terms of someone that fits my defender rotations, right? Van den Berg is the sort of best of the bunch, right? Some might say get Van Hecker instead, but as I said, he doesn't really fit my rotations because I would need a defender with a good fixture for this game week specifically as well, right? And Van Hecker's playing against Liverpool away, which isn't good. I could pick a United defender, but can I trust Man United defence? Absolutely not. No way can I trust our defence. So right now, yeah, I'm just in a bit of a sticky situation. I don't really know what I'm going to do, right? I really don't know what I'm going to do. But listen, chat, what I want to do now, right? Now that I've discussed to you sort of my thoughts and feelings on certain players and strategies I've got, what I want to do is go through my future transfer plans, one with the triple Arsenal defence route and the other with the Declan Rice route. And we're going to see how they sort of differentiate from each other. And we're going to sort of see if we can come to a conclusion on what path is better. So let's go overhead to planfpl.com and look at my future transfer plans with my team. Alright guys, so we are on planfpl.com and we're just going to have a look at some future moves with my team, assuming we do go through with the triple Arsenal defence route, and then we'll also do the route for Declan Rice as well, and we'll sort of just compare the two. And now they are pretty similar, right? There's not much difference between the two paths, but still nonetheless it is a little bit of a difference. But yeah, we'll start with the triple Arsenal defence route. So yeah, as I said, I've already confirmed 2 transfers, right? Timber and Thiago in for Virgil and Mateta. Now, what I'm also thinking doing, like I said, is Hincapie, right, to go triple Arsenal defence. Now, that's how my team would look in game week 16. I've then also got the option of taking out Jacobo Minte. I really don't know if I like him as a pick, like I said. So I would say right now, let's just say we take him out, right? Let's just say I go for it. And again, I really don't know if I'm going to take him out. I'm really like, yeah, I'm 50-50 with that. But let's say we do take the gamble. Let's say we do take the exciting punt of Harry Wilson. That's how my team will look for game week 16, and I do like it a lot. I think it does look good, right? So listen, we move on to game week 17. Now the plan for game week 17 is to simply roll the transfer. As you guys know, this is where Mbeumo will be officially gone, so he won't be available for this game against Aston Villa, so therefore I'll put him on the bench this week, honestly. I'm hoping his price, which should be locked, so I don't think I should lose money on him. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, in the comments down below, guys, but I'd assume by this point he'll be price locked. Hopefully he is, because yeah, my plan would be to actually roll the transfer, right? And I think on paper, right, my team looks pretty damn good in my opinion, right? Triple Arsenal defense against Everton away, I don't mind it. Anderson at home against Forest, Munoz against Leeds away, and then Semenyo, Harry Wilson with good fixtures against Burnley and Nottingham Forest is decent. Haaland against West Ham with Foden as well. Thiago against Wolves. Fernandes against Villa away. That's pretty tough, to be fair. But overall, I think the team looks pretty solid. So I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all for game week 17. So yeah, I'm happy to roll the transfer here, really. And then in game week 18, we get 3 free transfers. Now, I mean, we've got 3 free transfers, sorry, to use. Now, I could roll the transfer here again, realistically, right? I actually could roll the transfer. So again, I've got a choice here. I can roll and take 4 free transfers into game week 19 because I think, like I said, my team looks pretty good. But what I might consider doing is actually taking out Brian and Mbeumo at this point. And Liverpool, I know they've been stinking up the place. I know they've been very bad, but Salah's going to be gone to AFCON. So I would say Gakpo's chances of starting is pretty damn high. And I kind of like the fixtures here. Wolves at home, Leeds at home. 2 very decent fixtures. Even the Fulham away game is not too bad as well. And then maybe if I was going to keep him, I could potentially keep him for Burnley at home. But let's just say Wolves at home, Leeds at home, Fulham away. It's not a bad fixture at all. So I think maybe I take out Mbeumo, I bring in Gakpo and bench Anderson, who's got West Ham away. That's the player I would bench this week. I mean, I could start Anderson really away to West Ham. I could do it, but I might take the gamble and be a bit more aggressive because Gakpo's got back-to-back good fixtures on paper. decent goal threat and decent underlying data this season. So I think I'd be leaning towards more of the route of being a bit more aggressive, all right, and going for gap posts. So yeah, that's how my team would look in game week 18. And again, to be honest, I think it looks pretty decent, to be fair. If I really wanted to, I could actually bring in a Liverpool defender, but nah, I don't think it's worth it. I could bring in a Konate with the money in the bank, but like I said, yeah, I just don't think it's worth it. So we got triple Arsenal defense against Brighton at home. I like. Then Munoz against Spurs at home. I mean, that's a great defense in my opinion. Then in midfield, we got Fernandes, who for me is a long-term hold over this Christmas period. Against Newcastle at home, I don't mind it. Foden and Haaland against Forest away. Wilson against West Ham away. Semenyo against Brentford away. And then Gakpo against Wolves and Thiago against Bournemouth at home. I don't mind it, right? So I think game week 18, my team looks decent once again. Now, in game week 19, I will probably roll the... Well, again, I could roll the transfer. I don't really know if I want to start Wilson against Palace away though. So what I will say is, what I might do, I can see Newcastle playing a game against Burnley away. So what I will do is probably take out Anderson at this point, because I think Anderson's got Palace, Liverpool, Chelsea, Leeds away, Brighton, United away. Like, just the fixtures aren't great, right? And Fulham defense, to be fair, is pretty stinky. So yeah, I think I'd get rid of Anderson at this point and go to someone like Dan Burn. Yeah, Dan Burn, who's got Burnley away from home. And then in that case, I'd bench Wilson as well and move to a back four. And I don't mind it. Once again, I'm pretty happy with the team, to be fair. Triple Arsenal defense against Villa at home. Munoz against Fulham at home. And then Burn against Burnley away. With Gakpo against Leeds at home. Foden, Haaland again with nice fixtures. Fernandes against Wolves at home. So I think overall the team looks solid. We still got 2 free transfers to use, with 1.7 in the bank, but I don't think the team needs another transfer. Some of you might argue that I should bench one of my Arsenal defenders because Villa is a tough team to play against, and maybe you're right. Maybe I could take out Harry Wilson for someone else, but I just don't know who. I don't really know who I would go to, really. So yeah, I think right now that's what I would just do. And then we move on to game week 20. So yeah, I don't want to keep going on and on and on because we do have another path to talk about. So I'm going to stop at game week 19, but I think that's not necessarily the worst path in the world, and I think that path is quite decent in my opinion. Alright guys, so that was the possible path of going for a triple Arsenal defensive structure. Now I want to take you down the path of going for Declan Rice and double Arsenal defense. Now, like I said, to be fair, right, there's not much between the two in terms of like the difference really. So you guys are going to see that in a second. But yeah, if I was going to go for Declan Rice, right, I would obviously, so I've got Timber, I've got Thiago. Instead of taking out Senesi for Hincapié, what I'd most likely do as it stands at the moment is go to Van den Berg. I don't really like him massively as a pick, to be honest with you, but the fixtures are there, right? And he's decent for DEFCON. So yeah, I'd probably go to Van den Berg, start him this week against Leeds at home, and then yeah, take out Minte and I bring in Declan Rice, right? Because I do like Declan Rice, and that's how my team would look. So in terms of the difference to the other team, it's Hincapié and Wilson versus Van den Berg and Rice, right? And you're going to see them side by side in a second. But first, yeah, let's move on, right, to game week 17. So game week 17, the plan would really just do the same thing. Munoz in for Mbeumo, go to a 4 at the back and roll the transfer, right? Van den Berg's got Wolves away, Rice got Everton away from home. I still think the team looks pretty decent, right? I don't mind it at all. So yeah, I'm more than happy to roll the transfer this week in game week 17. Then we move on to game week 18. And once again, I'm going to do the same move, right? So Mbeumo comes out. As you guys know, Liverpool playing against Wolves at home. So Mbeumo comes out and Cody Gakpo comes in. So again, sort of that same move that I was going to do before. And now I've got a choice though. Instead of benching Anderson, I'll probably bench Van den Berg. And the reason that is because I've got Semenyo, right? And I don't really want to play my defender against my attacker. So Van den Berg goes to the bench, Anderson starts, and yeah, that's how the team would look. We got Rice against Brighton at home, Gakpo against Wolves at home, and just yeah, similar to the old plan you saw, but this time we got Rice instead of Hincapié, and we've got also Rice instead of Wilson. So we've got Anderson and Rice instead of Wilson and Hincapié. So again, it's very fine margins, right? There's only 2 differences in this sort of 11, but you know, that could, the point swing in that difference could be ridiculous, right? You never know, which is why I'm still actively thinking about what to do. But yeah, moving on to game week 19, again, I'm taking out Anderson because this is where Newcastle play against Burnley. I'm taking out Anderson, and most likely the player I bring in is going to be Dan Burn, right? I want a Newcastle defender. Most likely it's going to be Dan Burn. He goes into the starting 11. Van den Berg holds the bench again, and yeah, that's a team. That's how it looks. So I would say it's pretty similar up towards game week 19. It really is similar, and there's not much in it. I don't think like either path I go down should roughly give me a similar amount of points. Now, if you go back right to game week 16, right, and let's go to compare, and we compare the two plans that we've done, right? So we've got the triple Arsenal defense here on the right, and we've got the Rice option here on the left, right? Now, don't pay attention to the cost because I don't know why that's there. It's a glitch within the website, right? So with that being said, let's have a look at the difference. You can see here it's literally Hincapié and Wilson versus Rice and Van den Berg, right? Van den Berg's got Leeds at home, Rice got Wolves at home, Hincapié's got Wolves at home, Wilson got Burnley away. It's 50-50. I don't really know who gets more points out of that double up, right? I'd probably be leaning more towards the Wilson route if I'm totally honest. Because I feel like, yeah, I just don't know. I'm more confident. I think Rice and Hincapié probably get the same points roughly. But Van den Berg versus Wilson, I think Wilson's more likely to get points in this fixture. But I don't know. It's tough. But anyway, we move to game week 17, right? I don't want to keep you guys here forever. I think this video is already long as it is. But honestly, with 5 free transfers, there's just so much to discuss. There's so much to consider. And I just want to make sure I get it right. I want to make sure I get it right. Now, listen, you can see here again in the plan, we got the triple Arsenal defensive structure on the right and the Rice structure on the left, right? So, I'm playing a back 4 in both. And again, it's literally Rice versus Wilson, Hincapié versus Van den Berg. Van den Berg's got Wolves at Wolves away, I believe. Hincapié's got Everton away. Wilson's got Nottingham Forest at home, and Rice has got Everton away from home. So again, honestly, I feel like it's pretty tight. And this is the thing, I don't actually think, like, yeah, honestly, I think either path leads me down a good road. That's what I'll say. I don't think either path is that bad, personally. I would say I still feel like I'm favouring the triple Arsenal defence a bit more, purely because I do quite like the punt on Harry Wilson. But we move on to game week 18. We can see here the differences, Hincapié and Anderson this time, right? So Hincapié against Brighton at home, Anderson against West Ham away. Not going to lie, Hincapié beats Anderson. I'm confident on that. And then Rice against Brighton at home and Wilson against West Ham away. That's quite tough. Rice probably does outscore Wilson, but Wilson could do something against West Ham, to be fair. But yeah, again, it's pretty tough once again. Because you could say Rice outscores Wilson, but then you could say Hincapié outscores Anderson. So it really, really is tough here. But yeah, that's game week 18. And then game week 19, we'll end it here. I'm playing a back 4 this week with the triple Arsenal defensive structure. So it is Hincapié versus in this. Well, I actually bench Wilson in this week, so I've got Burn in both weeks. So it's actually Hincapié versus Rice, literally outright Hincapié versus Rice. That's the only difference in these two teams this week. So yeah, there's not much in it. Man. There really isn't much in it. I think both paths are quite good in my opinion. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what path I want to choose at the moment, but I just thought I'd let you guys see that for yourself. It really is tough, but I think, yeah, both paths are good. I still don't really know what I'm doing, but it's definitely up for consideration. Do I go triple Arsenal defense with Wilson, or do I go Declan Rice and Van den Berg? I'm not too sure, but that's what I've got to consider. I could also not put in Wilson and just have Minte, by the way, but I don't really know how much I like Minte as a pick. So yeah, we're gonna need to see what happens. But yeah, guys, I don't want to waffle on for too long. I think I'm gonna end it there. I do think I'm gonna end it there. It has been probably a long video, to be honest with you. But like I said, so much to discuss, so much to talk about. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna end it here. Make sure you guys do smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Hopefully, I come to a conclusion that I'm happy with. But yeah, let me know what you guys are planning to do with your 5 free transfers, and how many of the 5 free transfers do you plan to use? Do you only want to use 2, 3, 4, or do you want to use all 5? Let me know what your plan is down below in the comments. But thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy FPL Ryan, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. But until then, I'm out. Peace.